In the town of Bethlehem lived a boy named David. As the youngest of 8 brothers, he looked after the sheep of his father Jesse, because his brothers were busy with other responsibilities that they said were more important. David learned to defend the sheep from lions and bears and any other beast that came to hurt them, always risking his life for the sheep and skillfully protecting them. During moments of rest, David played the harp and sang psalms to God, seeking him at all times. God was so pleased with David that he sent the prophet Samuel to anoint him as the king of Israel, because King Saul, the king at the time, was not obedient to God, and so was disqualified from having such an important role. Samuel did what God had commanded him and anointed David before his whole family. Sometime later, David's father sent him to his brothers to bring them some food. He found them on the battlefield, serving in the army of King Saul, the king of Israel. David found his brothers, but while he was still talking to them, Goliath the giant came out. He was a fearsome Philistine who intimidated the whole army of Israel with his great height, his monumental size, and his impressive weapons. This giant stepped out onto the battlefield every day to challenge the Israelites to send someone to fight against him. Saul and his whole army trembled with fear. But when David heard this, he told King Saul, "I will face the giant. God is with me." This surprised the king. When he saw that David was just a simple shepherd boy, he told him, "Goliath is a man of war, and he has a lot of experience in battle. You can't go up against him." David answered confidently, "I take care of my father's sheep. When a lion or a bear comes and takes a sheep from the flock, I chase it down and rescue the sheep by defeating the lion or the bear. If your servant has killed lions and bears, then I can do the same to this godless Philistine, because he is defying the army of the living God. The Lord, who has delivered me from the grasp of both the lion and the bear, will also deliver me from the power of this Philistine." David was full of confidence as he got ready for battle. He took his sling and 5 smooth stones from the river and ran toward the battle line where Goliath the giant was. The giant began to make fun of David because he was just a boy. But David didn't allow himself to be intimidated, and he said with great assurance, "You come against me with sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. This day the Lord will deliver you into my hands, and I will defeat you." Without hesitation, David slung the stone in his sling, and it hit the giant with so much force that it sank into his forehead. And because the giant was so big, he fell to the ground with a huge thump. "David defeated the giant!" everyone shouted as they celebrated. David had delivered Israel from their enemies. That was how God began to carry out his plan and make David's name known among all the people.